I didn't know that X. You want to tell them, you know, if you tell them, I know everything, the audience is not going to relate to you. You're going to tell them, you know, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize. I didn't know. Until now. I didn't know why I have to endure the pain of separation with Mary. But 2 years later, I understand exactly why that had to happen to me. Time series. You want to tell them that it's over a period of time that you realize, oh, that was it. You realize. I didn't realize that why I have to endure the pain with Mary during the separations. But 2 years later, I walked 2 years and I said, now I realize it was because it is moving me to meet this new relationship and achieve more. Time series, you want to say you realize something, you know, you didn't know why the last time, now you know. Before that you don't, now you do. Before that you are this guy, now you are a better guy. You want to share the win. What is my win? In my stories I said, in 2 years, I felt that I have self-improved myself better. I attended Toastmasters meeting, win couple of contests. In 2 years, I learned how to dance. I finished my first marathon, my first triathlon, and I finished my first half Ironman race in less than 2 years with all these activities that I have, and I become so grateful of my achievement, like after my separation. And not only that, like after my separation, and I met this new girl, and everything is a sequential of events that lead me to meet this new girl. So you want to share the triumph. You say, oh, I don't know why I do that, but now I know. This is it. So you want to share it to them, and it will make your story look so much more powerful and engaging with your audience. The last thing, the sixth thing that you want to share with your audience is what I call the not too famous. This is contradicting to many people who taught about presentation skill. They would ask you to share a quotation that is a famous quotation by someone. And everyone shared the famous quotation. So how do you differentiate yourself from those? And if it's a famous quotation, everyone knows about it. Do you think they will write it down? They won't. Because everyone knows about the quotation. So why do you want to write it down? You already have it in your memory. But you want to share something that they haven't heard before, or they seldom heard about it. Or they heard about it once or twice, but they don't remember it. So I shared that. I said, that is exactly what Rory Vaden, the two-time world champion of public speaking finalist for Toastmaster Internationals, shared in one of his 7 principles of self-discipline, which is the perspective principle of faith. And in that principle, he says, less the ability to foresee the entire future, we aren't entitled to evaluate why things happen to us the way it is today. Less the ability to foresee the entire future, we aren't entitled to evaluate why things happen to us the way it is. Not too famous in quotation times 2. Most people would stop there when they quote infamous presentation quotation, because the quotation is not familiar with the audience. You need to say it twice, and it is also called a repetition. You want to repeat your message a lot of times. when I introduced the expert, and the expert told me, do you know, Ken, love is not a trait. And then I look back at Priest George and I say, love is not a trait. Love is not a trait, which is my core message, was repeated twice. My infamous quotations say, less the ability to foresee the entire future, we aren't entitled to evaluate why things happen to us the way it is today. I repeat it twice. Two times, my message was, love is not a trait and everything is fated. I repeat this thing two times, and then at the end, I rephrase my core message again. At the end, after you talk about all these things, at the end of your presentation, you got to do this. And this is the best closing that I have ever found, and I found it very useful. If all of you leave here, or all of you leave this room, is even better, this room, or leave this hall. If all of you leave this room, and you forget every single thing I say, remember this. Love is not a trait, and less the ability to foresee the entire future, we aren't entitled to evaluate why things happen to us the way it is today. And you forget every single thing. Remember this. And then you put your core message here. Your core message. You know what I mean? This is almost like saying that if you attended these two seminars and you forget everything in these two seminars, remember this. This one thing alone is going to change your perspective. If you forget every single thing or every stories I share with you, remember this one thing. This one thing. It's so powerful that you need to write it down. But you know what I mean? If all of you leave here in this room or this hall or leave San Francisco and you forget every single thing in this 2-day seminars, remember this one thing and put it into use, you will be a better presenter. So basically this is all I'm talking about, which is a 7-step formula to crafting your presentation, and I hope it will help you to kind of churn up your speech faster, because it will, because with all this effect and all these techniques that was implicit, that I put all this blue line, was actually an additional tips on presentation skill that you can use in your next presentation. So go out there and share your voice to as many people as you want to, because the moment you step up on a stage and you do not realize or you don't know that maybe one word, one sentence, or one paragraph, or one stories that you share in your presentation might impact a person's life. Go out there, live fully, and share your message with everyone that you want. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the other